All right, good morning. Let's go over Math 2, Unit 12, Worksheet 2, Inscribed Angles. As always, you guys are supposed to do the whole worksheet. Then the next day I go over the odd problems and you compare your work to mine, make your corrections. And then if you did make mistakes on the odds, hopefully that will help you fix your errors on the evens. All right, so last Friday we learned about inscribed angles. An inscribed angle is an angle whose vertex is on the circle, and we should have learned that the angle measure is equal to half of the arc measure it intersects. Now I think that's 90 degrees, so our angle must be 45 degrees. Number 3. All right, a little trickier, but we do know the inscribed angle is 50, so the arc it intersects or creates is 100. Well, from here to here is 180 degrees because that's a diameter, and this is a semicircle. So if this arc is 100, this arc must be 80 degrees. All right, number 5. We want the measure of angle A. Well, first we have to add arc BA plus arc AC. That's 200 degrees, which means arc CB has to be 160 degrees, which means angle A must be half of that, or 80 degrees. Okay, now we want the measure of angle C. Well, this is a diameter, so arc CDB is a semicircle, 180 degrees. Arc CD is 140, so arc DB must be 40 degrees. 140 plus 40 is 180, which means angle C has to be half the arc, or 20 degrees. Moving on to number 7. Okay, solve for the given angle. All right, well, actually we want arc RD, which is right here. Okay, arc RD has got to be twice as big as the angle, so it must be 146 degrees. Number 9. Okay, the angle, we want arc GT right here. Well, this angle is 70, so arc GB has to be 140. 120 plus 140 is 260. Which means arc GT must be 100. 360 minus 260. All right, moving on to number 11. Okay, I do want to help you out with number 10 first. So if you look at this angle right here, it's 62 degrees, and it creates this arc right here. Well, this arc has got to be twice as big as this, so this arc is 124 degrees. Well, you'll notice angle X intersects the same arc. So angle X must be half of 124, or 62 degrees. And that's one of our postulates, is that two inscribed angles that intersect the same arc have to be congruent. All right, moving on to number 11. Well, this arc is 200 degrees, and the angle that intersects it, the inscribed angle that intersects it, is 28x minus 12. So 28x minus 12 must equal half of that arc, or 100. I'll add 12 to both sides. I get 28x equals 112. Divide both sides by 28, and we get x equals 4. I'll leave 12 for you guys to work out. And let's go on to number 13, if I can get that paper off. There we go. All right, so number 13. Given the degree measure for the dotted arc for each diagram. Okay, so we want to find this degree measure. Well, this is a central angle. A central angle is equal to the arc it intersects, so the arc must be 150 degrees. All right, so this is an inscribed angle, so the arc it intersects has to be twice that, or 120 degrees. Explain the difference between central angles, inscribed angles, and the arcs they intersect. Okay, so a central angle equals the arc it intersects. Inscribed angle equals half the arc it intersects. All right, moving on to number 15. What is the value of x? Okay, well, 11x plus 7 must equal 40 because it has to be half the arc it intersects, which means 11x equals 33, which means x equals 11. Number 17. What is the measure of angle T? Well, let's see here. 110 plus 130 is 240, and 360 minus 240 is 120, which means angle T has to be half this, or 60 degrees. Moving on to number 19. Okay, in circle A, angle CBD is an inscribed angle. What is the measure of angle CDA? All right. Well, CBD is 36 degrees, which means arc CD must be 72 degrees. Now, angle CAD is a central angle, so it has to equal the arc, so 72 degrees. All right, now, AC and AD are radius, so what we have is an isosceles triangle. So angle C and angle D are congruent, and they have to share 108 degrees because 180, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle, minus 72, the measure of angle A, equals 108, and that is the degree measure that angle C and angle D have to share. So 108 divided by 2 is 54 degrees. So C. All right, 21, that's an easy review from last unit. We have x minus 1 squared equals 16. To solve for x, we simply take the square root of both sides. The square root of x minus 1 squared is simply x minus 1. And you'll remember the square root of 16 in this case is plus or minus 4. Now we add 1 to both sides. We get x equals 1 plus or minus 4, or x equals 1 plus 4 and 1 minus 4, which means x equals 5 and negative 3. All right, guys, get these evens completed and get this worksheet uploaded to Google Classroom. You should have already uploaded worksheet 12.1 and now 12.2, and then I would like to see 12.3 uploaded. Friday you were supposed to do a review, and today you're working on a quiz. I will admit I'm a little behind on my videos. I will be posting 12.3 a little bit later today, and probably tomorrow morning 12.4. Have a great afternoon.